Hello everyone, I am the Lore Explorer and this is Outer Wilds. In today's loop, we are going to talk about the mysterious exotic matter that we find spread throughout the entire solar system, sans a few places. Not much is really known about ghost matter, but it still should be fun to talk about. A quick thank you to GuyofPixels from the Lore Explorer Discord for the idea for the video. And, as always, this video will contain spoilers for Outer Wilds. Before we get into it, I want to do a quick plug for channel memberships. They are a great way to support and help the channel grow. You can click the join button below to become a member and instantly unlock channel perks. Alright, now, let's get to the video. As with just about everything in Outer Wilds, our first introduction to ghost matter is right in the Harthian's crater. Just above the big waterfall, we find a fenced-in area with a camera and a sign outside of it. Inside of it are just a bunch of unassuming crystal-like objects, but the sign reads, "Danger" in all capital letters. It tells us inside this fence is a strange and dangerous substance that is invisible to the naked eye. Luckily for us, there are a few ways that we can actually detect ghost matter, which is good because the sign is not kidding. If we enter this fenced-off area, it would kill us in the matter of seconds. The camera here is meant to teach us that we are able to actually see ghost matter through a camera. And if we actually take more than one photo, we can see there is actually a sort of gas-like substance here. It seems to be rising up and being replaced from the crystals below. Next to the enclosure, we find a young Harthian named Arcos, who has a pile of rocks, and just for fun, they are throwing the rocks over the fence. And this reveals the second way ghost matter can become visible. If something enters ghost matter, the gas seems to get excited, and it becomes visible to the naked eye. But I wouldn't suggest that something be you. Not only will it kill you quickly, but it's described as a burn and uniquely painful. This stuff really is no joke. Talking to Arcos reveals that Tektite, a Harthian who lost their leg, actually lost it to a run-in with ghost matter. It damaged their leg so much, it was safer just to chop it all off. Arcos also tells us that the ghost matter patch here used to actually be bigger and it's dispersing over time. But honestly, ghost matter could have fooled me. We still find this stuff just about everywhere in the solar system. So where did it all come from? Well, and I'm not joking here, it flew into our solar system out of nowhere, encased in a shell of a specific rock, and also inside a giant snowball. Well, more accurately, the interloper is a comet. But when it came here, I think it was pretty unmelted and probably spherical at the time. The sun melting the ice and its movement through space are likely what made the trademark spikes we see on the tail end of the interloper today. But that's really neither here nor there. But anyway, if we could look back in time at the interloper's core, we'd see some sort of solid ball, some kind of stone encasement. A spherical object that is muting the energy readings from the matter inside. Unfortunately, no one really got to study the casing. The Nomai got some initial readings, even while on the surface of the interloper, but as they descended, the energy readings became more and more worrisome to them as they got more accurate. Not to be deterred though, the Nomai eventually found the source of the readings, and they found the encasement is really effective. The energy reading should be 10 times as high. Not only is the matter inside unstable, it seems to be very dense. Not so dense to have a meaningful gravitational pull, but dense enough and unstable enough to put the casing under tons of pressure. And sadly, as the comet approaches the sun, the pressure is growing. Soon, the pressure becomes too much for the casing to handle, and it ruptures, resulting in the explosion that sweeps ghost matter across the entire solar system. The odd thing about it is the ghost matter seems to be able to travel through solid objects, having exited the interloper in every direction and kind of not stopping. We find ghost matter on Ember Twin, Timberhearth, Brittle Hollow, and even Giant's Deep. For some reason, the dimensional mess of Dark Bramble was impervious to ghost matter, but this almost universal blanking of the solar system in ghost matter took its toll. There really wasn't anything any of the Nomai could have done. The ones near the casing can actually be found with ghost matter crystals sticking to their bodies. Even Nomai who are completely underground and behind sealed doors succumb to the effects of ghost matter. But some of the life forms in the solar system were lucky. For some reason, Bramble and the anglers were spared completely. But so were the Harthians' evolutionary ancestors, as well as the jellyfish on Giant's Deep. So don't be too mad at the developers for like, well, why'd you only spare the anglers? All the aquatic species in the solar system were saved simply due to the fact that ghost matter is nullified by water. So it never touched the Harthian tadpoles or jellyfish. We can even get this confirmed for us by telling Rebek how the Nomai died. When we do, they mention how grateful they are that the Harthians hadn't evolved to be on land at the time. In other words, that they were an aquatic species. And that's all we really know about ghost matter for certain, but we can speculate from here. I mean, what could ghost matter really be? For a species like the Nomai to call it both exotic and alien says something to me. As a species, the Nomai pride themselves off knowledge, and they have no idea what this could be. I know they don't know everything, but if this were natural, I feel like they would at least recognize something it was related to, or something about it. Plus, this stuff gives off energy. It's completely unstable, and yet somehow, it was all in a compact ball encased in a rock-like material that just so happens to hold back all of that energy really, really well. To be honest, none of this seems natural. My guess is ghost matter is some kind of toxic byproduct of some advanced species power sources. Just like humans bury nuclear waste to dispose of it, this is the waste they solidified, encased in a strong shell, and put into an interstellar comet to be sure it never came back. Not that I'm suggesting someone meant for it to enter another solar system, or ours, and kill us all. I'm just saying it seems like a way of an advanced species may try to dispose of its dangerous materials, and it just so happened to make its way to our solar system. I suppose it could be natural. If you look at the rocks inside the core of the interloper, it seems like the glowy crystal things growing out are the ghost matter, but that seems to be one and the same with the casing. So maybe the casing, just naturally mutes whatever's inside, and that's how it exists. Who knows? Really, its origins isn't so important. Ghost matter is important for other reasons. It serves two roles in the game. The first is just functional. It serves as an obstacle or barrier for us, forcing us to go in a different direction or solve puzzles. And the second is for the story purposes. It gives us plausible explanation as to how such an intelligent and advanced species, such as the Nomai, were all killed simultaneously. And that is what makes it such an important part of the game. Not exactly what it is or where it came from, though it still is fun to speculate. Ghost matter is sort of a topic with limited information on it, but I still think it made for an interesting video. Thanks again to GuyofPixels for the idea. If you have an idea for a video you'd like me to make, leave it down in the comments below. And as always, a special thank you to the members here on the channel. You guys are essentially my ground control team back at the crater, making sure I can focus on the exploration. We only need 2 more members here until the community hits a small milestone and unlocks more emojis. Hopefully, we can reach that soon, and you can help. Click the join button below to begin your journey to find the Eye of the Universe. After 6 months of being a member here, you'll have the badge of the Eye of the Universe next to your name, and being a member really does help the channel grow. But of course, that isn't the only way to support the channel. The basic stuff, like commenting, and subscribing, actually does go a long way. And even just watching the video until the end is a lot of support, because it lets YouTube know that my content is worth watching. So if you made it this far, thank you very much for joining me. For now, this is the Lore Explorer going to work on some emojis, because I know you guys will come through and help the community unlock them. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.